Korea and Japan have many historical issues, and among them is what to do with Koreans who are forced to provide wartime labor during the Japanese occupation. In 2018, the Korean Supreme Court ordered a Japanese company, Nippon Steel, to pay 100 million won reparation to 4 Korean victims of forced labor. This ruling cleared the way for the victims to seek compensation from Japanese companies, but the Japanese government claimed violation of international law. To understand this issue, we need to look back in history. Korea was occupied by Japan from 1910 until 1945, when World War II ended with Japan's surrender to the Allied powers. But it wasn't until 1965 when two countries re-established diplomatic relations by signing a series of agreements. In the Claims Settlement Agreement of 1965, Japan agreed to provide $500 million worth of aid and loans to Korea. With this, both sides agreed that problems concerning property, rights, interest, and claims between two countries and their nationals were settled completely and finally. Japan argues this also includes any compensation or reparation to the victims of colonial rule. However, Korea points out that Japan denied responsibility for illegal acts against humanity that were caused by the colonial occupation, and accordingly, this issue was not covered by the agreement. Even the Japanese foreign minister who signed the agreement said the aid given to Korea was not reparation, but to congratulate Korea's independence. In short, the 1965 agreement did not waive the rights of individual victims, such as forced laborers and military comfort women, to sue Japan for compensation. As for the agreement itself, the Korean government has no intention of breaking it.
Given the different interpretations of the 65 agreement, we have tried to find the margins where we can meet so that we meet our conditions and the Japanese are able to stay with their position.
The Korean government is trying to find a solution that would respect the court's ruling while keeping the 1965 agreement intact, with the new Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga expressing willingness to work toward a forward-looking Korea-Japan relation. There is some hope that two sides will find a way. Historians estimate that at least 2 million Koreans worked against their will to support Imperial Japan's war efforts. They worked in mines, factories, and construction sites under harsh conditions, and many never went home.